in essentially with your summoners right away, and then back off, not lose too much, and then use the summoner spell cooldown to do it again.
Yeah.
But I think that's a very limited window. I think it's very hard to pull off. So
Exactly.
like, where does the Kennen even go then as far as masteries? I mean, you could go
It's just a
Electrocute,
fun
you could
pick.
go something like that. They're
If
here to win the
if you want to
video.
style on people, you can take it. Yorick, Aatrox
Does it look
fans.
stylish if you get blasted?
No,
That's the problem.
definitely does not.
At
Long
least in
shoe.
Zed. This to me feels like these guys are talking about what they want to play. This feels like it could be a mirror.
Yes, I mean, they're definitely not banning some of the
Yeah.
champions these players are famous for by any means that we most likely would see. Classic Poppy ban coming in as well.
Yeah.
So we're definitely expecting a mirror here. Oh, okay.
It may be the Flashing Knight as well. A Garen versus Garen, a test for the
Yes,
ages.
it paid off that I played Garen in solo queue before this tournament.
Spin to win.
Spin to win. Fantastic lane phase, I gotta tell you, man. You
Yeah.
can destroy people. And the fact that his W is so amazing now, also when it comes to actually...
The W is nuts.
It
The
is
amount of tenacity
crazy.
it gives you.
What's it, the damage
If
reduction?
you have Merc Treads, it's like you're not even getting CC'd.
Dude, literally, like, as soon as you hit, like, level 5 or 6, you just walk onto the enemy tower, pop that bad boy, spank them in the head, and then you walk away. And I know spanking people in the head is kind of weird, so
Yeah,
slap them in the head.
You and Trevor normally spank a different route.
It's a different one.
Yeah.
Looks like the head.
Yeah. There you go. Not going to touch that one. But Garen versus Garen. What are you expecting? Q-Max, E-Max? I feel like Q is probably better for the actual straight-up 1v1, but,
E-Max
I'm
though,
not
for
really sure.
damage. Yeah.
I mean, E does have the armor shred obviously on it. It does, increase damage with the ranks. Q is pretty powerful in the 1v1. The silence, I would assume, is affected actually by the W. That actually could come into play.
Sure, I mean, it's going to be very important how they use the W again, because when you do activate it, it's so strong for a few seconds. And if you miss that one and you're not actually activating when you're about to take damage, that will cost you a lot in just a pure 1v1. And I like the summoners well choices.
Yep.
Both
Flash
agree.
Ignite. Double Airy, Flash Ignite. They're both starting the same items. I'm going to assume the runes are the same all the way down
Most
the line.
likely. Where's my grasp? It's okay. We get the airy.
We got to have a dance-off. You're gonna pick two Garens, you're not going to dance?
Oh, almost.
All right.
Baiting the dance.
All right. This maybe a little bit of movement. You're seeing some. Oh, here we go. Here we go. That's what you like to see. That's the money shot right there.
All-Star 101, baby.
Hey, Xpeke last year was popping off with the Garen.
Famous pick. He was amazing for like 15 minutes of that game, and that was
That's all
about
you
it.
gotta remember.
That's kind of the thing about Garen.
Out.
I mean, the thing about Garen is, again, fantastic pick in the early game. Late game, especially if you have to enter things like team fights, it doesn't feel great, but there's no team fighting in 1v1. It is all about laning phase.
Just gotta give him the justice.
Ooh,
Make him the villain.
Prey winning the first trade right there.
They are gonna have quite a bit of regen though. That's one of the things about this. With the Perseverance, if you actually sit back, Prey's winning those little trades pretty hard. Remember, the Q is also an auto reset, so if you can get the Q then follow, the immediate auto then Q, you are going to get a lot more damage.
And we got to follow that rush for level 2, because if Rekkles had actually stayed forward, Prey could have gone all in with Q and, of course, E pop right after, but Rekkles stepped away.
Those are very glowy swords.
It makes it more powerful.
Good.
No one knows why.
No one knows.
Is it fire, ice?
It's neither.
Just extra glow for the damage.
Yeah, it's just very, very glowy.
Well, right now, Prey is abusing the fact that he's actually with the early level 2, now early level 3. Big wave on the Rekkles tower, but this is not the game where you farm for 100 CS. There will be an all-in.
Definitely not, and we are going to check in on what the players are saying. They got some banter going on.
Q-Max?
Q-Max, sir.
Okay. Maybe he can kill me now.
I'm coming!
I know.
Alrighty. Oh, the guy goes down. He has flash. Remember, if he can get the flash Q, you cannot flash away when you are silenced. Oh, he got him!
He also stopped the passive right there. He's like, no sustain for you. Great all-in from Prey. Dominated this Garen 1v1. We got to give him that.
A true test of skill. The question becomes, will he bust it out in the 5v5s?
It is a potential.
There is
Pick.
potential.
AD carry Garen, all in bot lane.
Yeah, I like it.
You have Leona,
Full lethality.
Alistar. I can see it. I can see it
too.
So there we go. Just gets a bit of extra damage. No more regen for Rekkles. And
Ignite is a poke summoner after all.
then Q flash all in. Rekkles knew. You can see pop the Q himself. I'm about to flash away,
Look
but
at those mechanics.
that's the thing about Garen, man. If you are spot on with the mechanics, you can make big plays like that one.
There you go. You too can aspire to achieve greatness.
You
Such as
too.
we have seen displayed here.
You too can pick Garen. Win your lane. Feel so strong like you are the true carry of your team. And then very quickly realize by the time you have to do other things than 1v1ing people, you're almost useless. But you won your lane, so you did your job.
You also have Ignite.
There you go.
You got to take Ignite just like this guy.
I mean, you have to. He just
and then
destroyed
when you're 7
Rekkles.
CS up on the TP Mao guy and he goes bot and kills your bot lane, you can question mark ping them and
Exactly.
say, I'm winning lane.
Because you're winning lane.
You are winning.
And that's the important part
And
when you're
that
playing
counts,
Garen.
whether it's 1 CS or 100.
I'm sad we didn't get to the point where there were a bunch of Infinity Edges in there, some crits,
Yeah,
everything.
definitely was expecting at least 3 or 4 Infinity Edges that
I
game.
thought it was going to be a long game where they
Yeah.
were just not last hit at all, but instead Prey got early level 2, Rekkles forced back already, level 3 came in, level 4 even when he went for the all-in, and he controlled the minion waves, he controlled the Garen 1v1,
He was faster on the sweeper,
he clicked Q flash really fast.
a little bit earlier to dance perhaps.
Korean mechanics and knowledge right there.
Unparalleled. Some very impressive stuff, but that means it is going to be Prey moving on. He's going to be facing off against Uzi. I doubt he's going to be able to get Uzi into the Garen versus Garen rematch, but
I don't
perhaps we'll
know.
have that tomorrow. That could be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm not sure, you know. It was a pretty cool matchup. I didn't actually think Rekkles was going to go for it. I thought, again, we are going to be like Lucian versus Lucian.
I was
something
expecting
cool
like a Vayne
that.
versus Vayne,
Vayne
something
could
like
have been
that.
another one,
That
of
could have been
course.
pretty good.
Also, the other semi-final, Bjergsen against Jisu, the man who wants to all-in against the man who wanted to push the wave on Tilia.
Both of the former champions last 2 years, though, are still alive, but we're going to send it over to Avali, who's standing by for an interview with the LCK bot laner.
Thanks, guys. I am here with Prey, and oh my gosh, the 2v2 or the 1v1 Garen. Tell me, where did that pick come from?
그 가렌 대 가렌 미러전이 어떻게 결정된 건지 말씀해 주세요.
원래는 좀 약간 원딜 챔프를 하려다가 그러니까 차라리 퍼니 챔프로 가자 그래가지고 이제 합의 봐가지고 가렌으로 하게 된 것 같아요.
Actually, at first we discussed to play a ADC versus ADC mirror match, but then we decided actually let's play a funny matchup, and then we decided to play Garen eventually.
Is that your favorite champion, or is that just like the meme that you wanted?
가렌이 그냥 나온 건지 혹시는 뭐 원래 좀 즐기던 챔피언인지 뭐 그냥 재미용 뭐 짤 만들기 위한 그런 챔피언 한 건지 말씀해 주세요.
일단 뭐 서로 일단 재밌는 픽이라고 생각했고 이제 레클레스 선수도 그렇고 저도 그렇고 거의 한 몇 년간 안 쓰던 챔프여서 더 재밌겠구나 해서 그냥 좀 클래식한 챔피언으로 했던 것 같아요.
I mean, we both thought that Garen would be a very interesting champion to play, and since we both didn't play Garen for like a lot of years, we thought that bringing back the classic would be really fun to watch.
Well, I know the fans loved it, and they had a lot of fun watching, and it looked like you had a lot of fun playing it. How has your overall All-Stars experience been so far?
일단 오늘 1대1은 되게 재미있게 경기하신 것 같고 팬들도 많이 즐거워했었는데 지금까지 프레이 선수 올스타전 어떻게 즐기고 있는지 어떤 경험했는지 말씀해 주세요.
뭐 되게 즐기고 있고요. 일단 오늘 1대1 가렌 매치에서 이겨서 좀 더 기분이 좋은 것 같아요.
I've been definitely enjoying All-Stars a lot, but by winning today's 1v1 Garen match, it just made my experience much more better.
Wonderful. Well, you play Uzi tomorrow. Do you have any thoughts on that matchup?
내일 이제 우지 선수랑 1대1 붙게 될 텐데 혹시 어떤 뭐 전략을 짜고 있는 게 있거나 그런 게 있으신가요?
아마 우지 선수는 약간 좀 퍼니한 것보다는 되게 약간 정통파 1위를 또 노리는 친구일 것 같아서 그냥 뭐 저도 열심히 해서 그냥 원딜 챔프를 이렇게 대결할 것 같아요.
I think Uzi will be rather go for a more serious matchup and he'll aim for the championship. So I don't think we're gonna have a funny champion matchup. So I think we're gonna do a classic ADC versus ADC matchup.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for this interview, and I wish you the best of luck tomorrow. We're going to toss it over to our friends at the desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. Great to hear from Prey. Always has a smile on his face. It makes sense that he's the one who kind of initiated the Garen v. Garen 1v1, getting the better of Rekkles in that one and moving on to our semifinals. But today's 1v1 look had a very different look from yesterday's. 11 unique champions today, some very new ones as well today.
Yeah, today
know, it didn't seem as like crazy or off the wall. It was a little bit here and there. We saw some 100 CS victories, some resounding ones, mirror matches, you know, people actually agreeing to actually have that mirror match happen. And as we get deeper, I'm just expecting more and more of, you know, the serious mode to come out.
But it did feel like finally the 1v1 brought the old school all-star feel. We did have a bit of fun to end the day as we had those 3 mirror matches over the course. Feels like a while ago now that Prey had the first 1v1 victory. We just saw it on the screen, but then the mirror
Here's the beginning of those mirror matchups that you're talking about, the Jin 1v1 here. Yeah, right idea to walk out, but the grenade bouncing, the 4th hit, that's really what sealed the deal. As well, though, too, I want to recall back to that Nasus versus Lucian, because Faker had found success on the Nasus yesterday. We've seen it be successful in previous years. The Lucian seemed to be a good answer. And then this one, Bjergsen on the Taliyah over Faker. That must have been really frustrating to play against, because the back timer, it's something that you do with Taliyah as a mid laner, is you just shove back, use her passive to get back to the mid lane faster, and you don't need teleport, you just keep going mid over and over. That's that preparation that was talked about, right? In these 1v1s, you can outthink your opponent more so than you can outplay them in some cases. Speaking of outthinking and outplaying, I don't know if either happened in this one. It's just, I mean, what are you talking about? This is a mechanic. This is world-class play.
And the best part of it all is literally the Season 2 gods of AD carry, Prey and Rekkles, at 5 years, and they're playing Garen versus Garen. Something went wrong somewhere along the line.
Oh, no. Yeah, literally, if you were a Season 2 viewer and like this, you're like, I wonder what's going on.
I need some additional context.
I wonder what's going on in the league scene nowadays. I'm sorry, what? Rekkles and Prey are 1v1ing on Garen? Oh, this is unacceptable. All right, well, that was 5 of the 6 that we had today. We're saving the best for last here. Jisu on the Olaf. Huge win. This guy has been surprising and impressing so far in the 1v1. Take a look at this win moment, brought to you by Acer Predator. And my favorite part of this is we've been talking about outplaying and outthinking. This is both simultaneously. He's going to ghost and rush for both of the health relics past the Syndra. He has to give it up. Doesn't kill him with the ulti, and then he just gets him with
the
the
axe.
axe.
Have to rewind. Remember, this is a blind Olaf that was chosen. He had an idea of what was available. Syndra has been one of the flavor picks today, but understanding that against the common summoners like Exhaust, for example, Olaf still has options. It's the longest lane possible on ARAM. Chase down potential is there. Picked a spot. Got the victory.
I mean, his wins are now Pantheon and Olaf. That's a
thinking
sweet,
man,
a
thinking
sweet
man's
roster
player.
of wins to have. But I really love the point that you made, that entire win moment, that entire engagement was thought out. The fact that he needed to pick up that health relic in order to then take the remaining damage to get the snipe throw for the axe. And you also think about how his Pantheon was the turret dive with the W reset on the shield. This guy has had 2 very close, like sub 100 HP victories.
A man of inches.
I love it, because I don't want to see those 100 CSs. I know that, you know, it's kind of the best way to win if you're methodical. Nah, I want blood.
Agreed.
Couldn't agree more. There you have it. 3 agreements on the desk. Before we call it an evening, let's go ahead and take a look at the matches we've got coming up tomorrow. First, in our 5v5 semifinals, we've got the LMS versus SEA, followed by Korea versus the LPL. Then there are 2 best-of-3 1v1s to close out the day. Bjergsen versus Jisu, and Uzi versus Prey. We already talked about Jisu a little bit. Bjergsen, the last remaining mid laner in the 1v1 tournament. And then, of course, we've got those 2 AD carries there on the bottom side of the bracket. It was joked around. We might continue to see the Garens played throughout. I doubt that'll happen in that Uzi matchup, as he looks like he has his try-hard pants on to defend his title.
It is still the battle of legendary Season 2 AD carries. Maybe that is how it has to be resolved. The Garen versus Garen Flash Ignite. Let's do it.
There it is. That's the only way you can determine.
But I mean, interestingly, they will, of course, have played the best of 3 just beforehand. It is China versus Korea in that particular series as well. One that's going to be a highlight to most people, given that has been a serious tournament. They are both stacked lineups. So maybe some of the actual moments from the 5v5 will be incorporated into the 1v1.
Ooh, how would you incorporate those? Just
the
like,
mind game, sorry.
The mind 4 more people onto the... Yeah, you wouldn't see it coming. But the thing I really like about this is Bjergsen, Jisu, and Uzi Prey is you have last year's and the years before that winners in terms of the 1v1 tournament. Bjergsen 2 years ago, Uzi last year. We may have a repeat champion, or we may have both them in the finals fighting to see who gets a lot of pedigree all of a sudden in this 1v1 tournament.
Because it's been like the dream team 5v5s, and because 1v1s aren't like points for the region anymore, this is literally you representing yourself, trying to show that you're the best 1v1 player. And I feel like we're getting down to that point where we have some people who are really taking it seriously with the preparation.
Oh yeah, so much pride on the line here in this situation. On the topic of preparation, though, this does, kind of leave us thinking, how many more tools does each of these guys have, right? Bjergsen, for example, has shown us 2 different champions. All right, is he going to get the Taliyah again? And hey, will someone have an answer for Taliyah if they leave it up? Or will it just hit the ban table, and in that case, where does Bjergsen go?
I just love that Bjergsen's taking the 2 different styles, the combative, but also the Taliyah looking for the more economic victory, just pushing through, not really looking for kills. So the fact that he's shown that range, we know he can play a lot of champions, but it does bring some faith in a best of 3.
And then just real quick, in these 1v1s, there's been a lot of talk around runes and the way that they've played into the matchups as well. As we've seen more and more evidence of these 1v1s, are there particular keystones or even lesser runes that you think are hugely important, being overlooked, utilized, super well? Because we have seen minor differences between, choices of players, even in those mirror matchups.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I think there's a lot that's undiscovered still in terms of people haven't been experimenting with futures market, like Azael was saying. Also using something like inspiration as your main tree and all-inning with summoner spell reduction, and then having your secondary tree be resolved. You get like 200 HP and 20% more potion effectiveness by taking inspiration as your main tree. So there's some things that can be messed around with, but everybody's going for the damage in the area, which makes a lot of sense. I feel like Airy is definitely the one that is more universal and you can abuse.
And we're only just getting a consensus on the 5v5 side of things. The amount of iteration done with the small time frame means there's a lot to be discovered. Faker, for example, taking Last Stand is something a little bit different in this particular series. So in a year's time, if it's still the same runes, I think we'll have a bit more unexplored territory. But in some cases, it feels like some of the choices were just wrong.
I would be more concerned if you told me we had it all figured
That's
out.
fair.
Already.
That's fair.
2 days down, 2 to go. Now for myself, the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for more All-Star action. Good night.
Joining me on the caster desk is my North American All-Star, Sam Kobe Hartman-Kent.
Thank you, Freak.
I've got GH. I appreciate you even more.
The juke shoes are in, but doesn't matter. Gets shot down. It's still over.
I'm showing the weapon.
You did this ult on purpose to get triple, even though I really... Thank you.
Stomach, not a lot of mana. Oh! Ignar, you are beautiful.
Yeah, left side, go.
Nice. We can go,
Southeast Asia, able to grab a little something to kick back. Levi is a monster and dominating at the same time.
Rock, paper, scissor. What is this?
Two more attacks will do him in, but only one lands the boomerang from Fog of War.
他没有闪，他没有闪。
我闪死你们了。
Nice！
给你断了。
LMS 3-0, top in the group. Beautiful play from them.
Go!
야 뭐야 이거 버그.
나이스. 바텀도 많이 유리해요. 바텀 많이 유리.
Arrow is going to hit Gorilla on the front, though, as the Cosmic Radiance comes down. Korean All-Stars are able to deliver the damage back to Turkey.
A 25-minute steamroll from the LCK Superstars.
Revolta gets taken down immediately. MLXG is everywhere. His Rift is the spicy hot pot. China, a 3-0 finish.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the 1v1 tournament.
SwordArT right now, he's taking so much damage.
We just pick it at 40 and pick. Lock. Yeah, I go.
I did it.
There's minion as well, hitting Rekkles, but he got it.
Potentially could burst
Bjergsen with the minions.
He's got to go. Oh, he's so low. That's 100. Oh, he missed the axe, but he got another health pack, and if he hits this one, he will win.
There's no mana, Meiko.
Oh! You got to fight right now and hope that you can win, because Uzi's going to ult the wave. There it is. Remember, if you can get the flash Q, you cannot flash away when you are silent. Oh! He got him!
This dance is so cute.
Yeah.
Pull in, essentially with your summoners right away, and then back off, not lose too much, and then use the summoner spell cooldown to do it again.
Yeah.
But I think that's a very limited window. I think it's very hard to pull off. So,
exactly.
Like, where does the Kennen even go then as far as masteries? I mean, you could go
it's just a
Electrocute,
fun
you could
pick.
go something like that. They're
If
here to win the
if you want to
video.
style on people, you can take it. Yorick, Aatrox
Does
fans.
it look stylish if you get blasted?
No.
That's the problem.
definitely does not. Long
Lee Sin, Zed. This to me feels like these guys are talking about what they want to play. This feels like it could be a mirror.
Yes, I mean, they're definitely not banning some of the champions these players are famous for by any means that we most likely would see. Classic Poppy ban coming in as well.
Yeah.
So we're definitely expecting a mirror here. Oh, okay.
It may be the Flashing Knight as well. A Garen versus Garen, a test for the ages.
It paid off that I played Garen in solo queue before this tournament.
Mobility champion. If he wants to sit still and use his ultimate on that incredible line damage, it's going to give Leona a great and easy target to tap.
We'll have a bit of a way to save somebody if they take that solar flare damage or are locked up in a null zone. Tom Kench gets locked in as he starts to see a bit more playtime here at All Stars. A bit, just a tad. Going slow on this one as we build up to the everything's extravagant now.
But it does mean that with Kench getting locked in, that we start to see where all these pieces slip and slide into. So it is going to be top Shin, mid Vel'Koz, as well as the support Tom Kench.
And there it is with that Jarvan being banned out. Olaf can run free against this composition, and they will lock that in for Revolta.
And that's the thing, you have, you know, very self-sufficient kind of damage sources in the Ezreal and the Olaf. Yes, Vel'Koz is going to need a little bit more carrying after, especially if these fights really start to get on top of his face, so that allows Dude to take care of him, and then it's just about what Vert can be on that front line.
Yep, a little more speed. Really color match on the side of the Southeast Asia All-Stars. I like it. I like what they're doing. Strategy and picks and bans all the way through, and the Sivir is locked in here for a little bit of wave clear play, but also adding speed to the team. You have the J-Skate. You're trying to follow up on Leona, or the disengage if necessary from that laser.
And it's really how she is going to team up, like you said, with Leona, with that Malzahar, so able to immediately pull the trigger. And the thing that I really like about Southeast Asia's composition is the fact that by putting the utility or the hard engage on other members, they open up Levi that he can be the carry jungler, that he can look for the Kha'Zix. Last time around, I believe it was them that took the Scion, and he was able to go for the Lee Sin. So, you know, he didn't have to go towards the Sejuanis, towards the Jarvans. He can play his style, and his team can pick up the slack.
Southeast Asia coming in right now. The All-Stars 1-1 versus Brazil. Looking at their 0-2 so far as they make their way through the All-Stars beginning stage. Who is going to move on? Brazil trying to do what they can here to get another win under the belt, I should say.
And it's the fact that their dreams are still alive so far into the tournament, but they've got 2 matches left, Southeast Asia and then China. So it's an uphill climb, but it is possible.
See the teams on your screen. Brazilian All-Stars locking in their composition. Seems like it's pretty go forward, get a little bit of aggression in, but Southeast Asia has also answered with that. A lot of aggression in the chance of heading forward with Sivir and an acceleration gate, but they can play passive as well and kite that back for their own initiation.
Also, a lot of different responsibilities in terms of how these top laners clash. So we'll keep our eyes on that as we hit the rift.
All right, Frosker, and we are in the fountains. Let's see what everybody has picked for their runes reforged. And it seems like we have a bit of the same here. That spell book over on the side of Patrick for so we can switch it up at that 2 and then every 6-minute mark after, and we'll just keep close eye on how everybody's using their runes reforged throughout the game.
Yep, everything looks pretty standard to what we've seen. I do want to kind of start with Kraw there on the Leona. What I think is very cool about Leona, and I don't know what he's taken specifically as his secondary tree. I will check on that and update. But something that is cool about Leona is that she can go into the domination tree as her secondary tree easier than other supports, which means she gets access to that zombie ward. We've been talking about this pretty much all tournament long.
And it is huge. It really is. Players being, like you say, placing wards, but it almost works against you now.
But it's also that factor of getting the trait from the tree. The fact that you get either the AP or the AD. And by taking it on Leona, she is one of those champions that in the old previous rune set, you would maybe go for the AD marks because you wanted to be able to trade in as well as have your AD carry proc the passive.
Right?
Exactly, or fervor. So I think it still kind of fits into the theme of what made Leona successful on the previous rune set.
Absolutely. We see on the other side, Dude with a bit of Guardian, just trying to keep himself safe, and brTT, as we see with a lot of those tankier supports, they're going to be playing a little more passive. Help for Levi in the jungle here, not going to be his Lee Sin, but we saw Karsa be super deadly on this, and Levi can do just the same.
And it was about Karsa being able to dominate the side lanes in particular because he had so many squishy opponents to pick from. In this case, though, it's Vert that is on someone like the Shin, so we're not going to see the same type of snowball that we saw last time from a Kha'Zix player. Does mean that he still has great pressure on pretty much everyone else, though.
And looking at Brazil coming into this tournament, a team that's kind of picked and pulled together from everywhere of guys that have kind of always played together and always been a part of each other's kind of team or just lifestyle.
Yeah, so we have 2 representatives from Thailand and Jisu. They are Korean players. Yeah. And then you have 2 Singaporean representatives in Dante. It's also the Singaporean coach, Omo, standing behind them in place for the former All-Star lineup. So everyone knows Levi, but it's where everyone else comes from, and they are very familiar with each other. The GPL likes to play a lot of tournaments to decide who's going to be their representative, and these teams are constantly running into each other.
It's funny in the situation of Levi, because even if you didn't know him, if you played in that region, you'd be like, I want to know this guy. He's just one of those people you have your eye on all the time. Fantastic style of play, and can show a few new things each game he gets into. Pretty even set for both teams here to start things off. Revolta low on mana in the jungle. He looks to clear that out, but he will see Levi here, who's actually quite full in his own jungle.
And the big thing is Revolta's very, like you said, low on mana and health. So Levi, starting bottom side, gets quick level 3, and then immediately looks for the invade, as well as placing some deep vision underneath Jisu. And like I said, we should be paying attention to where these top laners or what's going to happen with the top laners, because it is a Jace. He wants to push forward, he wants to be a bully, which means that Levi is going to dedicate time to him to make sure that he's safe. Also the fact it's Jisu. He's going to be a carry top laner.
Yep, little airy love taps, you get him in there, you make the other top laner pull their hair out, and you just try to continue that. Vert with the Grasp of the Undying to get in, to get his health back. He really can't step to Jisu right. And now teleports are still up.
Mobility champion. If he wants to sit still and use his ultimate on that incredible line damage, it's going to give Leona a great and easy target to tap.
We'll have a bit of a way to save somebody if they take that solar flare damage or are locked up in a null zone. Tom Kench gets locked in as he starts to see a bit more playtime here at All Stars. A bit, just a tad. Going slow on this one as we build up to the everything's extravagant now.
But it does mean that with Kench getting locked in, that we start to see where all these pieces slip and slide into. So it is going to be top Shin, mid Vel'Koz, as well as the support Tom Kench.
And there it is with that Jarvan being banned out. Olaf can run free against this composition, and they will lock that in for Revolta.
And that's the thing, you have, you know, very self-sufficient kind of damage sources in the Ezreal and the Olaf. Yes, Vel'Koz is going to need a little bit more carrying after, especially if these fights really start to get on top of his face, so that allows Dude to take care of him, and then it's just about what Vert can be on that front line.
Yep, a little more speed. Really color match on the side of the Southeast Asia All-Stars. I like it. I like what they're doing. Strategy and picks and bans all the way through, and the Sivir is locked in here for a little bit of wave clear play, but also adding speed to the team. You have the Jace gate. You're trying to follow up on Leona, or the disengage if necessary from that laser.
And it's really how she is going to team up, like you said, with Leona, with that Malzahar, so able to immediately pull the trigger. And the thing that I really like about Southeast Asia's composition is the fact that by putting the utility or the hard engage on other members, they open up Levi that he can be the carry jungler, that he can look for the Kha'Zix. Last time around, I believe it was them that took the Scion, and he was able to go for the Lee Sin. So, you know, he didn't have to go towards the Sejuanis, towards the Jarvans. He can play his style, and his team can pick up the slack.
Southeast Asia coming in right now. The All-Stars 1-1 versus Brazil. Looking at their 0-2 so far as they make their way through the All-Stars beginning stage. Who is going to move on? Brazil trying to do what they can here to get another win under the belt, I should say.
And it's the fact that their dreams are still alive so far into the tournament, but they've got 2 matches left, Southeast Asia and then China. So it's an uphill climb, but it is possible.
See the teams on your screen. Brazilian All-Stars locking in their composition. Seems like it's pretty go forward, get a little bit of aggression in, but Southeast Asia has also answered with that. A lot of aggression in the chance of heading forward with Sivir and an acceleration gate, but they can play passive as well and kite that back for their own initiation.
Also, a lot of different responsibilities in terms of how these top laners clash. So we'll keep our eyes on that as we hit the rift.
All right, Frosker, and we are in the fountains. Let's see what everybody has picked for their runes reforged, and it seems like we have a bit of the same here. That spell book over on the side of Patrick for Malzahar, so we can switch it up at that 2 and then every 6-minute mark after, and we'll just keep a close eye on how everybody's using their runes reforged throughout the game.
Yep, everything looks pretty standard to what we've seen. I do want to kind of start with Craw there on the Leona. What I think is very...
A little bit of extra time to study it.
Ah, you're right.
And really perfect that.
And actually get good, I think it's a good idea. Maybe we'll come out here in this one. The picks and bans have begun, and I will now be a better shoutcast because Kobe's reminded me what good looks like. I just looked to my right, I'm like, that's what good looks like.
You're
there
too
is
kind.
Misfortune off the table, NA banning those away. No Zoe allowed for Bjergsen. What a surprise, no Ornn either, as that remains a omnipresent red side ban.
By the way, for everyone at home, if Freak ever compliments you, assume he's being sarcastic, because he probably is. Ornn and Zoe, though, as you said, we expect to see those banned quite often. For me, I always have Ezreal up there as well, but you know, Misfortune has been a first pick here in this tournament, and everybody's adding her to the list as well. Now Kha'Zix even showing his face here. It looks like Mike Young maybe he wants to play the tankier champions. You know, we have seen, as much as everyone have to worry about where Ignar is and the denial of his very impactful ultimate.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun one here. I want to point out Rekkles' secondary rune choices. His primaries are all very standard. Rekkles went Domination secondary for the when you jump, you gain bonus lethality, which is a sudden impact, and also Eyeball Collection to get a bunch of bonus AD. So he's going for a pretty all-in heavy sort of rune page. Statistically in solo queue, sudden impact is actually not that great on Tristana because you don't rocket jump actually all that often. But he's going for all-ins, it's going to be on for him.
Yeah, like I said, you can still go for those kills. Here we go with Ignar. Making his way into the jungle already. Gets a lick off of Zert Sting, and he's going to have to return to lane. Soaz, unlucky.
Down to 2/3 HP. Does have Iron Skin in second wind. He did go for the more sustain-based stuff based on the matchup, which makes total sense for him. But still not going to be easy to play Nasa and Nara, I feel like.
Yeah, and as we said before, Thaldrin here, captain, huge playmaker for Turkey. This is definitely a guy that should be talked up. And he got his hands on the Gnar. He's got a good early trade onto Soaz. And meanwhile, down bottom lane.
Yep. Yeah, they're okay. He got the stun off. Of course, there's no chomp just yet until these 3 minions die right here. But once that happens, Zerg's got to give some more respect over to Ignar.
Can tell the type of game they're looking for, though. Meanwhile, Stomage has gone for buff to buff, so he still is level 2, but technically that's all Jarvan needs to be able to get off the combo, as well as electrocute, so...
And the Hop's already gone behind him, so does not have a way out. Buys a little bit of time, but he's not going to burn much. Here comes the rest of the team. The flash to follow. Oh! First blood, yes, Jankos! The first blood king is here already. Looking for more to his crown. Add another notch to the belt, looking to knock down Stomage. Bit more damage coming through, 100 HP left on him. Out goes the Jarvan.
Bug Champ saves Dog Champ. They've got the counter here. Jankos comes in. Not only that, but Jankos did the 3-camp blue side clear. So after the bad trade from Soaz, or even probably before it, they were already thinking around this, vulnerable Nasus here up on the top side. So really do like the choice here from Jankos to hang around. He's being very efficient, killing a camp while being in range for this counter game. If you watch the minimap, he takes the blast cone, jumps over, immediately gets in to flash on Thaldrin before he's able to generate enough for the transformation. He had one more, either auto attack or Q or something to get off before the Mega Gnar would have transformed. But Jankos is able to kill him off before that does come through, and they almost even took down Stomage after.
Yeah, and I really got to give props to Jankos. You saw him kite his Gromp up. This is before they ever saw Jarvan. He's cutting the Gromp up the top side towards the blast cone. He's waiting for the counter gank, thinking it's gonna come in.
Exactly. That's why we talked about the forethought put into it and the planning here. Jungling is so much about that. And now after that gank, you have to think about how does the jungling actually affect the lane matchup? Because Nasus, this is going to be probably a couple extra points here from Soaz into the E. He does have Airy himself. You can clear the waves very easily with it, but you can also get good harassment down. And now that he has gotten some extra breathing room here and a little bit of extra time up on this Nasus, we'll see him scale a lot more comfortably into the late game.
The case right now, Jankos going to take away some of this Gromp gold from his opponent. Was able to see, Stomage had 8 CS and the 2 buffs. He knew what camps were taken and runs away to take away the bottom jungle. Sweeps out. I don't know if he actually saw Zerg Sting, but certainly Kha'Zix doesn't know, but jumps over the wall and stays safe for himself. So Jankos just fine and has a little bit of camps left in the bottom jungle to clear if he wants to. Level 4 to level 3, and Stomage actually going to go for round 2 towards the top side, but with Soaz under the turret, not an easy dive. But might just look to scout out the jungle.
Yeah, there's not much he can do offensively, so it's much more of a getting control here for Thaldrin to allow this Gnar to continue to try and pressure mini form, very annoying for SwordArT to deal with at the moment, but SwordArT should be able to last hit there under the turret. As you said, getting a couple more points in the team now.
Ooh, early smite! Jankos steals it away! An early smite from Stomage gives that one an option. Has the flag and drag out, but got nothing for the counter jungle.
This is such a bad spot for Stomage. He is level 3, no mana.
He'd be stunned. No flash. Good juke. Oh, if PoE had held onto that E a little bit longer and made him commit to going upwards, that might have been a kill for Jankos to chase through. But either way, Stomage just nothing much to farm, and he's down 2 levels.
This brings up another really cool topic about the preseason, though. People were complaining so much about jungle catch-up experience that it was heavily nerfed. Now, not only is it less experience, but it's also only on the big monsters. So Stomage is level 3, and Jankos has already been counter jungling. Level 5 Kha'Zix plus vision in his jungle. It's absolutely insane how big this lead is.
Cauldron's Mega Gnar, he's going to be able to stun Soaz, who kites it back. Now the damage outputs here, and PoE secures the kill for the top lane. Thank you very much. I did all the work. Thanks for the kill.
Yeah, that feels good for Power of Evil. I guess Jankos was like, fine, whatever. I'm already pretty fed. I have a giant lead. And they're all going to continue to pressure here, but this is a breath of fresh air for Stomage because, as we said, he was completely counter jungle. There's vision all over, and now he gets to slide in. Yeah, it's bad for him. His top laner died, but he gets to soak up some lane minions, at least.
Well, up to level 4, he's keeping up in this game. Just a very little bit here. Frozen kills a control ward. And he's got some CS, but peeking down a kill means PoE's doing better in this lane. Power of Evil's not only forced Stomage out of his own jungle once, but got that kill top lane. So it looks pretty good for this Comet Xerath. Nice little pillar blocks off Rekkles, but Rocket jumps away, down to 1/3 HP.
Really going to have to keep track now. What is Jankos going to be able to do with this lead? Because it is absolutely massive. Now that he is level 6 and he has been able to evolve the R, it opens up everywhere for gank opportunities. One of the little tricks that I've learned here in the preseason, walking through the brush, you can get almost all the way to the middle of mid lane, but if you just activate your R while you're still invisible, it extends the range and it extends the duration there, so you can gank anyone without them having any sort of vision on you and hold on to your lead until they react with some sort of flash or whatever their escape is. It really does make his level 6 ganks impactful, so he can now basically have his pick of any lane that he wants to go to. And we were talking about the bottom lane. They wanted to get into it. Rekkles even took the sudden impact rune to try and have some all-ins on Tristana, so maybe he shows that area a little bit of love.
Sure, might happen here for himself. Power of Evil does not have the kills yet, but he went for free boots. He'll get them a little bit. That'll be fun for him. His runes, he's got the biscuits as well. Jankos still looking for something to do in this topside jungle. Zergsting, I believe, might have seen him with that ward, but going to come kite back around. Puts the ward down for the blue buff. Now something in a 1v2. Chomps the blast cone, gets away, but now the blue buff's going to be attacked by Jankos. And the ward sees where Jarvan is coming from. So it's a bit of a race against how this guy can join. And open up for Zeitnot, wants to get his team back in. That's the reset.
Over 4!
Wow! 0-4, they dodge it all away, but at least gets the blues saved so far for Stomage.
Oh man, that is not the way you want to start out a skirmish, but here comes 4 members to tackle this blue buff. Can they take him down?
It's in Fog of War, they're gonna get it. The Q goes over to Frozen. Thank you very much, blue for him. All right, so hey, even though you missed the Jhin shots, it did make Europe run away. I can't complain too badly about this one. 1,200 gold difference game though. And there's still a lot of wounds to lick right here. The bot lane is going to be the place to be attacked. Here comes the next bit of assassination. In they jump. Gamba. Got to get one already. Looking for number 2. Zergsting going to run out of health. Down he goes. Jankos making the Turkish scoreline 0-for-4 and the kills as well.
I like the last hop here from Rekkles. He jumps in, gets something to impact, and immediately flashes back out. Actually, now we have Stomage coming down as well. He's low health.
He's a bit alone. Jankos going to get a bit of damage. Okay, no chase to be had, but with the wave pushed in, it's going to be just some XP gain and nothing else.
We were right, though. Jankos went down bottom to try and help out, Rekkles, and they were able to make use of it. So Rekkles was able to grab one of those kills. Meanwhile, SwordArT on the top side.
Oh, he's chasing him with her. Timed out now. It pops the ultimate, and Thalden's like, but I can just walk away from you. He gets rid of the nullifying orb shield there, but otherwise not a ton to be gained. Hold still up for the Turkish top laner. Watch that bot lane fight again.
Remember, this is after they forced the Jhin cooldown, so there's no ultimate. There's no chance for him to use it, though, as PoE was hitting his ult shots. There's Rekkles, hops in, immediately flashes out as Zergsting turns around to give him the bite.
It was nice. He provided the slows that PUE could land a few more shots there and land that last ulti charge, and I think it was actually the right choice, even though flashing away seems silly. I do like what Rekkles did there.
I like people going for all-star plays at the all-star tournament.
I like going for all-star plays all the time, unless they're on my team in solo queue, in which case, calm down, don't feed. Look at this damage output. Zeitnot, yeah, health down to 1/2 HP. Whoop. And they're going to have a little bit more coming in as Ignar brings some teammates. None of the CC landing. The juke shoes are in, but doesn't matter. BOE gets shot down. First kill over. Typical NA mid laner dying on the tower dive, and now Ignar going to get shot down as well. Double kill, but Yankov's mopping up in the mid lane. 5 because of him.
Oh no, POE just whiffing all over the place here, and Zeitnot gives him the 1-2. Bullet to the head, and he's going down. Meanwhile, Jankos is able to kind of stabilize it there for Europe in the mid lane. Remember, Europe still does have the 1,000 gold lead, but Turret taking a lot of damage here. Rekkles wants to make a move.
Rekkles jumps in, gets the charge down. A few more shots will do him in. That might be enough for lethal damage. Zeitnot chases and does get killed, and Rekkles jumps back out. The best he could have done, and now Zergsting is just going to get splatted. So as he gets his first kill of the game.
Ah, the Turret gold a little too juicy there. Rekkles is able to utilize the guerrilla warfare skin and jump in from the outside. Does end up getting another kill. So, as he said, you know, the world's AD carry is very much still viable. And now that the early game, they're getting some kills onto him, he's going to scale extremely well.
Oh, yeah. So the Omega squad going to get themselves the first turret of the game. Slowly but surely. But no one's going to stop them. No one else rushing turrets nearly as fast. Bonus of gold, 275 apiece to the bot lane here of the European All-Stars. Feels pretty good for them. That gold lead, quite massive, about 4K.
Take another look at the highlight here that we had. Power of Evil gets the ticket in under the turret here from Ignar. Throws off the stun. Don't need that one. Q is dodged out very nicely, though. Can't really blame him for that one. Nice moves there from Jin, and they're able to get the shots landing this time around, even with the flashes. Ooh, Stomage. Just
never saw him coming.
Just so juicy right there. Yanko's able to slip in. Easy work with Kha'Zix. 3 kills now for the European All-Star jungler.
Man, this was the whole time. He literally, I think, couldn't have known other than trying to guess. So
it's the freest thing. The first time I utilized that and I was able to get all the way across mid lane, I was like, wow,
this is really good.
That's very, very strong.
It is, it is. Welcome to having an easy roll, Kobe. Here we go in the top lane, though. Stomach coming to help out Thaldra. So as says, I'll just keep farming. It's okay. My Q's on half cooldown. I'm ulting just to get the farm going.
Also, he's got a stronger jungler, so here they go.
Crosses in the mix. POE shows up for a couple of shots in and helps get the first kill across. Diego's watching back out the Cataclysm. And now Soaz has turret aggro. He's got to be careful. When are they going to join into this one? He's pulled the aggro. Nice jump back, and no stun's going to land. Stomage! Woo! Survives the comedy, gets away with it.
All right, here comes another challenger. Frozen has arrived. 1v3.
Ulti comes across suppression. They're flashing away. Will the damage be enough? Malefic Vision's just not visual enough. Nothing picked up there. Top lane turret now undefended. And that will be turret number 2 for the Europe All-Stars.
Meanwhile, we have a little bit of a rotation. Bottom lane for the Turkish squad is rotated up to mid to try and hold this one, it looks like. And the European All-Star duo are also going to answer them. And it will be a standoff as top lane turret goes down. That's 2 turrets for the European squad, and the map is really starting to become their territory.
Yeah, they're taking over a lot of this right now. We'll see if they keep pushing forward. Getting rid of the mid lane waves for now. Ocean Drake is up. It's still useful, just it's not that like 10-minute Ocean is super bonkers insane. Either way, though, PoE has actually neglected to go for Merlanamacon, just relying on Mana Flow Band and maybe this later Ocean Drake for his mana regen tools. Rekkles going in with the ankles. The double jump squad is here. So as flashing in for the Wither on the Zeitnot. No way out for the Jin. A quick shot to make sure he's safe thanks to Ignar. And now Stomage stuck alone under the turret. A triple kill for the European AD Carry All-Star in Rekkles. And he's just destroying this game now. 4-0-4 for Yankov, the whole squad doing so well.
Yeah, they're also going to be able to take the objective afterwards. Icing on the cake here. Now with all the outers down, all objectives are basically just on the checklist here for Europe. They get to check off the Ocean Drake here now, and it is going to be the zombie ward snowball that we kind of talked about. They can just move in, plant everything with vision, and really make use of the giant gold lead they've been able to accrue in the early game. Because if you look across at the Turkish squad, you know, yes, there is a Gnar up there, but he's a 0-3 Gnar. He hasn't been able to get a huge amount of gold. He's been utilizing the matchup pretty well and earning that CS difference, but with all the kills coming through for Europe, there's not much that they're going to have to worry about.
He plugs the gold holes a bit with that turret kill up there, but it's still more than 5,000 apart. Sniped! Power of Evil. Grabs himself the blue buff, I do believe.
Top side as well, Ignar has been able to walk up here behind Thaldren. I don't know what he's going to be able to do as support Tom Kench, though. 1v1 with the team captain.
Gets ulted and goes, still chasing you, though, because Jankos is on the hunt. Looking for this one here. Thaldren gonna be back to Mini Gnar, gets the bit of move speed from the W pass, but here comes snipe number 1, 2, and not range for 3, but the damage output so high, the tongue lashes in, and another kill for Jankos. He's unstoppable.
Tom Kench, beautiful here. Able to get the tongue lick for the extra slow, then also turret aggro denied, eats him up.
I think it's the only time anyone's called Tom Kench beautiful, Kobe.
I appreciate multiple forms of beauty.
Including big toads?
Yes.
Great, you know what, that's fine. Not my taste, but you know what, you do you, buddy. Pose the 2 and kills, Rekkles on the beautiful Tristana. You know what, that was terrible. We're gonna move on. Either way, though, Stomage looking for some action to the bot side. Almost predicts the flat, but Power of Evil goes over the knockup. Either way, though, with Demolish up here getting some damage, they're not gonna stay for it.
All right, Turkey looking to get some ground back for themselves. As you said earlier, Thaldren was able to get the top turret before they chased him all the way back down and were able to get the kill. So they did get some gold back for themselves, but it's going to be difficult to mount the comeback this time around. Here you go. SwordArT with the dive, able to get his ult off after action. Didn't even need it. It was the Tom Kench. Once again, he's the real star.
He is the real star. Absolutely. Beautiful champion, doing well for himself. And now, Rift Herald also going down. Jankos going to grab that. Yes, he will. We'll see what the next target is going to be. 3-1 in turrets, 12-2 in kills. Europe definitely bouncing back quite nicely from their loss yesterday. And looking to maybe wind this one down when they get the chance to. Still only 17 minutes in. Got quite a bit of League of Legends to go. But waiting for the next objective here. SwordArT looking towards the bottom side. He was about to square off against Thaldren. Both of them have left the lane for now, though. You can see how afraid Zeitnot is of what could be around. You saw him sniping from far away, trying to get the wave clear. So he finally has some wards to keep himself a bit safe.
Yeah, plan for Turkey right now is kind of the defensive huddle here, where they mostly position themselves around their turrets with pink wards through their own jungle to try and make it safer to diverse from turret to turret and wait for a mistake from Europe. You know, the one thing about All-Stars, and everyone looks to make All-Star plays and YouTube highlights, they can actually punish those if Europe decides to go for a dive and Ignar's not around to save them. And then Turkey might be able to turn something around. As we've been talking about, though, you're pretty comfortable in their situation.
Yep. Looking pretty good for themselves. I want to point out Jankos not quite going for the full hardcore build that we had seen out of Karsa yesterday. Has gone for Green Smite and also getting himself towards the Fade. So not quite as hardcore, but looking for more Zergsting. Goodbye, deleted already. Turned back to an egg, and now over the wall. Stomage has a flash out for this one. Couple snipes from Zeitnot, and it does not seem to matter. A couple of nice jukes away, got rid of some of PoE shots. Another bot lane turret under fire, though, and the whole squad is here ready to deal the damage. And a 4v5, 5 being on their squad. Bot lane tier 2 fall. Rift Herald still available for Jankos.
All right, I'm going to check in here on the stacks for SwordArT, because that's the coolest part about Nasus. 147, it was just at a couple of seconds ago. He did go for that Emax I was talking about with him. So it's not the highest numbers that you're looking for, because he wasn't just concentrating on stacking it up. But still, he is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Going to provide the tankiness. He has gone for the Righteous Glory. We saw him before flashing in just to get in range of Wither. Now he won't have to use a summoner spell. He can just use the speed. And that really is one of the most annoying spells to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And good luck. I mean, the thankful thing, at least a little bit, for the Turkish squad is none of them really need attacks that badly. The Wither is like a bit less annoying than it could have been. XP Jankos gets the Rift Herald on the wrong spot of the map. He just parks it there. Maybe that was on purpose, I'm not sure. Oh my word, he's gone! Thaldren deleted. Who needs stacks? +6 for SwordArT. And he's found another one. Jumps over the wall, gets suppressed, but it's not going to buy him much time. Perfect timing. SwordArT not quite going to get it. Is he going to save it for the stack? No, he's going to take it with the E. No extra stacks there. Triumph keeps Jankos alive. I think it was Triumph. Either way, slinking away, and now SwordArT has someone else to target here. Stomage. Not a lot of mana. Oh! Ignar, you are beautiful. Power of Evil gets that kill, 16-2.
Where are you going, boy? Ignar licks him up, able to take him out of the combo, and another kill goes through. All right, eyes on Rekkles now. He's got his crit combination in addition to the Quicksilver Sash already built up, so he has no one to fear at this point.
Yeah, not even Malzahar can look at him scarily and keep him in place. Rekkles knows how to get away with those tricks. Blue buff.
Oh no, not the evil eye.
I mean, Rekkles got an eyeball collector. He's ready to go for all of this. It's not even a problem. So I want to say it's on purpose. Thank you for going back to it, observers. I think it's intentional to where Yenko's going to be like, all right, when we're ready to go, I'll kill the Krugs and send it out. I want to say it's on purpose. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. Jankos is the mastermind.
All right, my theory is that Jankos just likes collecting pets. And he wanted 3 sizes of Krug here, but there's no other size of Krug, so best he could get is a giant scuttle crab.
There are actually 3 though. You get the medium one and it turns into 2 smaller. You can get all 4 sizes of Krug.
He's gonna have to kill one of them.
Oh
to do
no!
that, though. You're gonna kill one of your own pets.
Hey, but they'll multiply. He'll get twice as many pets. It's like when you've got a pet stick. Someone breaks your stick in half, and you got 2 sticks.
Oh man!
You got twice as many pets. Jankos knows how this works.
That's a really
man.
That's a really a cup half full way of looking at killing one of your own pets there, freak.
To get 2 pets. It's like starfishes. They both become real starfish.
Okay.
Right? There's even precedent. But yeah, 16-2 in kills, 10,000 gold lead. Europe is definitely smashing this one right now. And the question is, at this point, it's almost like when will they close out? Looking right now like a Baron bait here as their items continue to push towards fruition. Frozen, yeah. Has to run away in fear. The Pet Master is scary here in this one, looking for this nice back and forth. Bjergsen getting away. And sadly, especially with Lucidity Boots, he's just not that tanky and can't really withstand this front line at all. Getting more damage towards Zeitnot, and Turkey forced away from their side of the map.
Yeah, this is the problem here. They're dealing with just a one-man artillery situation with Power of Evil. He's not even super fed on Xerath in the mid lane, but they're all so far behind they have no defenses that they're not able to deal with. Let's see if Soaz is gonna let the let Shelly out.
Nope. Shelly remains in the cage. All right. Oh! Dodges away nicely. Zeitnot dodge just as many as needed, stays alive, walks away cleanly.
I feel like we need to start a petition online or something. European fans get out there and convince Jankos to let Shelly free.
Hashtag free Shelly 1, I think, would be the tag we'd all use. And let's see, mid lane about to be under fire, you have to imagine. The waves are gone. Soaz! Hey! Soaz lets her out!
Now, how will they use this? What's the important strategy here, Freak? They're pushing on the bottom side. They're going to create pressure, draw them away from the Baron.
Exactly. They're saving it for Baron. Soaz here to add some stacks to split push alongside Jankos' pet. It's beautiful.
23 minutes of work have been put into this strategy. The timing, impeccable here. Jankos on the backside of the Baron, and they're trying to bait in Zergsting. They've got him.
Oh, he's doing so much damage. Zergsting feels the sting as he walks away from the claws of justice. That Jankos. That was a bit.
He has a lot of titles.
Yeah, he does.
Krug
Pokemon
Collector,
Master,
Claws of Justice,
First Blood King. Who knows, man?
This guy.
Aldrin just gets to attack Shelly. I mean, that's why they kept her in the kennel. They don't just run around wild. Just runs into like wild Nars and dies. Poor Shelly. Never got to even see a turret.
Yeah. Turns out Jankos was a better pet owner than Soaz.
Yeah.
Soaz very unreliable here.
I trust you to watch my cat. What did you do?
Well, here we go for an engage.
And the pillar is up, but does it matter? Snipe 1, snipe 2, 3, and 4 coming in. Stomage again cannot get out. Ignar finds the catch. Rekkles now godlike, got the kill credit for this one. But all the work was done by the support there. And now back towards Baron. They might look with the jungle of death. There's no smite to be worried about. Okay, Zeitnot, and it's going to be Ignar blocking the shots. Rekkles completely safe here, and Ignar, it barely even tickles Tom Kench, and then they go, and not much of a chance to stop this Baron attempt at all.
Yeah, Tom Kench is one of those guys, you can tickle him, he just never lasts. Oh, Pui lands a pretty big stun here, but they're going to just take up the Baron and go for the reset.
Easy, easy, and clean. Nicely done to Europe so far. Only giving them 2 deaths and a single turret on a split push. Otherwise, they have been really in control of this game. Kind of doing it by the book, right? Making sure they're getting the leads, setting up the vision. They had one good teammate where they killed the jungler, and that was enough for Baron.
All right, Baron empowered. Trinity Force built here on Soaz. We're pushing away the Nasus Dream. Gonna get the recall off. He does have teleport, so he'll just get right back out onto the field. You want to get those 2 points of pressure as always with your team. Don't want to let the other end of the claw hanging here. There's Ignar on the top Ken. He's on the front lines. He saves people. He breaks combos from the enemy team. He kills people. He does it all.
He protect and he attack, dude. He knows how to do everything. Ignar's got your back. And with a 12,000 gold lead, Yankos about to get Baldrin's back. Look at the damage output. There's no way out. Give it over to Power of Evil. Why not? 3, 1, and 5. 8 participation. Well done. 2 of those at least have been steals.
BOE's had a lot of off-screen steals.
Yeah.
They've been looking good. That's what you're supposed to do with the champion.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
Tied for KDA.
That was what he was built for.
1,480 damage to the snipe from Zeitnot. Might never find a champion with that much damage, though. This could be a very difficult game. That will be for Turkey's bot lane inhibitor turret falls.
Rekkles still has yet to die in this game, by the way. He's got the most kills on his team, fully equipped to jump in there. We're looking for those aggressive rocket jumps.
See, still got Ignar around to keep him safe. He goes a little bit too crazy. Lands a lightning crit. Feels pretty good about that one. Want to point out, by the way, Static Shiv actually does heal you with Gravitas Hunter. You want to go for that one as a marksman down there. Static Shiv actually does work that way. The knockup though, where's Ignar? He's not to be seen. Rekkles is way too much that, but a kill comes through for the dog champ. Soaz gets one. When the snipes come through, will they find some clean up? Ignar there to save Soaz the top side. His favorite Fnatic member, clearly. Another snipe comes through as the Jhin is gone. Zaren says, I can do it better. Yankos now dominating one of the 2 remaining deathless members of the squad. A Pillar gets him away though. The chase is back in the leap forward. Frozen forced to kite away, but Power of Evil able to rampage with his 4th. And here comes the attacks, the flash forward. They need a bigger boat. They've got this kill picked up. Yankos getting himself the ace as now the Nexus is open with the turret.
Nice shots from BOE here on this Xerath. Impeccable timing, and they're going to be able to take this one.
All right, first game of the day. Gonna go to Europe here as they wait to find champions to kill, to pad their stats, make it look as good as they possibly can.
Take it! Get in there!
Fancy footwork moves right there, but Nexus will fall. Europe gonna win the first game and improve to 1-1, setting up their showdown with LMS later today.
European All-Stars said they learned a lot from yesterday from their loss, and they're taking a lot of it out here today already on the Turkish squad. This is interesting because it does set them up. I mean, we now basically have Europe, LMS, and Korea all viable options for getting out of this group. So this group, very exciting as far as who is actually going to be able to exit at the end here.
Yeah, Korea at 1-1. Their last remaining opponent would be Turkey here on your screen. European LCS 1-1 as well, and they will have to face LMS, who, against many people's considerations, did take down Korea themselves.
Yeah,
so
2-0 yesterday.
Yeah.
So strong.
Which means a good chance of a 3-way tie at 2-1, which means shootouts. 1v1 Howling Abyss for tie breaks. That's going to be exciting stuff, and we'll see who comes through at the top of this group at the end of it all. Going to be exciting, but it does mean that the Turkish squad now down at 0-2 do not have a way of advancing into the groups or out of the group stage, but they can still put some impressive performances in. They will still face Korea later today and show one last time what they're all made of.
Everyone go full, every man for himself mode. Yep. It's all about creating those highlights, see what they can pull off later in the tournament. Some interesting picks, definitely can gain you some notoriety.
Oh, sure.
Already.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this game, Rekkles there, he did die at the end. We had successfully cast the curtain
it was
10 seconds before.
It was perfect. You've done very well for yourself on that one. Yeah, he hasn't died, and he inted. All right, Rekkles, unlucky there, but
come on, man. He had a great game. He had a great game.
He had a great game. He absolutely did. I think Yankos had the best game of all of them. He was absolutely incredible there. The top lane gank worked out.
Classic. Better jungler wins, dude.
Better jungler win. Yankos was actually incredible. But I mean, I do want to give him credit though, right? Sussing out. Yep. You're gonna gank Soaz level 2. I'm gonna do these 3 camps and go to the Blast Cone. Like he planned the path out from the very beginning. Yep. 3 camps up to Blast Cone. Oh look, I found a Jarvan. First blood, and it was just kind of beautiful. So I always respect the obvious forethought where he's like, I know it's coming. I'm gonna call us out before you ever do anything, and he was right. I love that.
Yeah, and it's something where you want to hedge your bets a lot too, because if you wait around long enough and you're not doing anything, you give up too much. That's why the 2-for-1 there is the optimal strategy. Meanwhile, though, that was an exciting game number 1.
It was exciting. Europe 1-1. Could have idea maybe we'll come out here in this one. But picks and bans have begun, and I will now be a better shoutcast because Kobe's reminded me what good looks like. I just looked to my right. I'm like, that's what good looks like.
You're
there
too
with
kind.
Misfortune off the table, NA banning those away. No Zoe allowed for Bjergsen. What a surprise. No Ornn either, as that remains a omnipresent red side ban.
By the way, for everyone at home, if Freak ever compliments you, assume he's being sarcastic, because he probably is. Ornn and Zoe, though, as you said, we expect to see those banned quite often. For me, I always have Ezreal up there as well, but you know, Misfortune has been a first pick here in this tournament, and everybody's adding her to the list as well. Now Kha'Zix's even showing his face here. It looks like Mike Young maybe he wants to play the tankier champions. You know, we have seen, as much as everyone's like, oh yeah, you know, full damage is so viable here, we've seen full tank Jarvans. They've been building full tank. We've seen Sejuani's, we've seen the Gragas's, so, you know, definitely still tanky jungler is extremely useful, especially if you've got somebody in the top lane like Haunter who likes to play very aggressive champions. And Jace, it looks like it is actually locked here already. First pick NA Jace.
Oh gosh, first pick NA Jace. Good luck North America. And it's going to be Shen matchup against it. And I'm actually curious if Levi goes back to the Italy he played in the previous game, or if Mike Young has clearance to pick it himself, because that was one of the champions he made a name for himself on. Does he get to play Glacial Augment, Frostfang, Nidalee in the jungle or something? Wait to be seen. Of course, we already saw the Kha'Zix effect ban against Levi, and he's going to get Lee Sin for himself. So, aggro warrior jungler staying alive. I love it.
Gauntlet has been thrown. Levi said in his video that he wanted to play against Mike Young. They heard this guy was getting famous, and he heard he had an aggressive play style. He's like, okay, show me what you got, buddy. I'm taking the skill matchup. Lee Sin locked in here. I think Lee Sin definitely does benefit from the improved electrocute over Thunderlord.
I agree.
You get that burst damage, and he really has been thriving in the aggressive matchups. However, Mike, as we said, still could go for that defensive tanky jungler.
Here comes Sejuani or maybe Jarvan. He's going to build a Cinderhulk. He's going to build a Knight's Vow, give Bjergsen his oath, and we're all going to be sad that he backed down from a fight against Levi, but wait to be seen. 10 seconds to go. Azir and Bjergsen's definitely going to be good, and they're actually going to quickly prize Jhin in for Sneaky. I believe he was actually the first player to play Pro Jhin across the world. He was certainly one of the very first, but I think he was actually the literal first to do so way back when, and certainly has been a big comfort pick for this guy.
So Azir right now, I want to talk about this for a while because he is back in the meta in a very big way. A lot of the pros that used to main him have been very quick to jump back on the bandwagon. You know, the big buffs coming through. Now, the big thing he always was worrying about was poke. They banned out the Xerath. Looks like I was gonna set up more poke champions. They're like, oh yeah, there's other viable Lux and all that type of stuff. But there you go, immediate Malzahar locking for him. It's not quite the exciting answer, but he does have the options there for the lockdown.
I like the immediate reaction there for SEA. They grab away the Tom Kench ban, one of the most obvious counter picks to Malzahar. If you ult them, chomp him, run him away, he's going to get very little damage on him anymore.
And that's why I've really been a fan of, on red side, last picking before the second ban phase does come in. Last picking your mid laner. Because a lot of the times there are multiple counters right now in the mid lane floating around for most of the champions. So they're able to ban some of those out. And counters don't always have to be lane counters, people. It's not always about 1v1, I win my lane, win game. Come from other places.
Team comp counter certainly, I would say, more important in pro play than in solo queue. There's a bit more team interplay that Tom catches the mid lane a bit more in games like this, but Tarek also off the table, really trying to remove tank supports away from aftermove. Blitzcrank, we've seen a few plays, certainly available. Leona also up, but it depends what the bot lane is going to be for the rest of the squad.
And also, if you're facing someone who has a Shen lock-in, I feel like for me, Leona drops off a little bit because you always have to worry about that. Shen coming in. That being said, they do have Haunter with Jace on the top side, so it might even signal that they would want to throw jungle pressure up there, and the bottom lane would want to be like super safe or something.
Yeah, definitely a possibility here, and let's see what comes out of this one as they wait to lock in their first few champions, or the last few champions, I should say. 8 seconds to go for Southeast Asia to show something from their bot lane. Neither of these teams have actually picked anything down there, so all four remain to be seen. Sion in the support role, or is Sion top of Shen support?
Could be Shen support, technically. I like the Sion support more than I like Shen, though.
Really?
Yeah, I do, because I like I like the charge up from the push of the Q, and also it's really easy for Sion to hit the slow minion, and he can take Comet as a support too.
Yeah.
Shen, not so much with the Comet. I really do like double Comets in the bottom lane as well, so
yeah,
I like him a bit more from the support role. Shen feels like he's a punching bag.
I'll give the argument for Shen in that if you're
like
not against
all-in?
like Alistair, yeah, his all-in's really good. You get the taunt, you get Aftershock, you land the 3 Q hits, it's pretty good, but yeah, I think you're right. End of the day, it's probably Sion bot lane, Shen top. We'll see what comes through in this one. Is Alistair. Boo! He's got the thing, and for some reason I didn't read champ select at all. Of course, Jin was locked in already, so they needed a jungler for Mike Young, and he grabs the Land Shark here. The Rek'Sai coming through, and we'll see if it's Warrior or Cinderhulk. I am still hoping it's Warrior.
All right, things I'm looking for here with Mike Young. Interrupting Lee Sin dashes. We talked about Gauntlet being thrown by Levi, and Mike Young takes a second to pause. Think about it. It's like, yes, I will accept. I'm assuming that, by the way, that this is a Warrior Cleaver Rek'Sai. That is my favorite way to build her. I think that is the optimal way right now to build the champion. You rely on your ultimate timing to dodge incoming damage, to dodge incoming crowd control, and you play Rek'Sai very much as an offensive champion nowadays. People, if they're tuning in, maybe missed a couple of months of pro play. It used to be the Cinderhulk. It used to be frontline tank, and you just use her for those knockup, but she is very much about getting kills right now. And Warrior into Cleaver definitely allows her to do that. So we'll take a look at those timings.
Yep, and as we tick down the last few seconds, Sion currently is a top laner, and Shen is the jungler, and as 20 seconds crosses by, it means the lineups are locked in. It will be Comet Sion top, and most likely Aftershock for the Shen in the bot lane.
And currently Ignite for that Shen, so the all-ins that we mentioned, those are very real possibility here for Craw. He said he's looking to play, looking forward to playing versus Aphromoo. Let's see if he can do it versus Aphromoo on his signature champion.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun one here as Jace faces Sion for the top lane supremacy. Mike Young on the Rek'Sai versus Lee Sin, and Azir blind pick through Bjergsen facing off against Patrick's Malzahar. It's going to be a fun one here. North America sitting at 1-1, hoping to improve to that second win, which nearly guarantees them a spot in the top 4, but that's not a guarantee just yet. Brazil could theoretically catch them, but waiting as the timers tick down and the computers load into the game, it's going to be a big deal.
Carl also said he's a huge Reddit fan, and he wants to see a Reddit thread after this game. So.
There will be one no matter what. It'll get free upvotes unless he wins.
Okay, we'll see if he's there.
Craw appreciation thread, your free karma, and then you just say, I really like his interview. You can link that timestamp in the VOD.
His English is great.
His English has really improved. We see him on the analyst desk. WTF2 Shens, lie about it a little bit. Who knows? But we are into the game. Here we go. A very fun, aggressive, all-in potential bot lane with Trish Shen for Southeast Asia. Mike Young on, press the attack on Rek'Sai. That's leading me to believe physical damage coming out.
Yes, sir. I mean, we'll have to take a look here as well about the opening starts if we have any deeper wards starting out, because as we said before, the planning going into the early jungle routes based on your matchups really does have a huge effect. And we have one of those matchups that kind of does affect how you think about your early jungle route here, and that would most notably be the Jason to Sion matchup on the top side, where they want to get Haunter to the point where he's freely abusing the range matchup. You want to get your auto attacks off, but you also want your brush control, and that means you're going to need a little bit of extra vision there. So we'll see if they can actually secure top side. It looks like we're already seeing that in motion here. North America does invade on the red quadrant of Southeast Asia.
Ooh, bit of damage on towards Patrick. He's going to have to flash away, and they summon her down, but thankfully a shorter cooldown summoner.
Yeah, spellbook there from Malzahar. 25% reduction from that, 5 more from Cosmic Insight. Means it's not going to hurt too badly. Meanwhile, though, it is going to be the red, enemy red start here for Mike Young and Haunter. They already want to establish that control on top side. As you said, Jason to Sion is a very map-warping matchup from top lane.
Oh, a lot of damage there. Jisu doing pretty well for himself. Haunter runs away. A couple things to point out. Aphro is running Hex Flash, by the way. He's also running Futures Market, so we can actually buy his Sightstone or whatever else pretty early on. That'll be pretty fun.
Let's talk about this rune then, because I actually really like. Well, let's wait for the bomb to explode.
Like this.
I actually really like the uses of Hex Flash. Immediately when people saw it, they're like, "Ah, this is useless. You have to channel it. You know, people are going to see that stuff coming." But if you have brush control, as Aphromoo so often likes to talk about, then you get to channel it and you get that surprise factor. If they don't see the start of the channel, it can have huge ramifications. Levi, though, taking away the Krugs, gets found out here by Afro, who's going to be able to claim some of their own.
20 gold for him. Levi still just farming in his face, and Afro's like, yeah, I can't really fight him though, because Cross coming over, so. Nice deep ward to make sure everything's safe, and now Afro almost not even allowed to lane anymore. Looks like he's gonna get himself a, not quite over the taunt.
Touched you, you're it.
Yes, he is, but don't worry, headbutt pulverize.
That's how you play melee sports, Freak.
That's true, you just say, you play tag.
Hanzo here does not want to play tag because he is losing. What the hell? I mean, so if we go back to the very beginning, rewind the top lane matchup here a little bit, Sign is one of the ones. You have to respect walking into that brush blind, and there was a huge chunk of damage as we saw. Meanwhile, speaking of big damage.
Yep, the big boy taunt coming across, damage track on both these sides. Again, damage towards Sneaky, but headbutt pushes them right back out. Dante's not any longer in range. Levi's here. He's going to wear his welcome thin. The Q gonna land. There's the kill and a turret. First blood grabbed up for Tristana of all things. Dante's 400 gold reach.
First blood for Southeast Asia. They're on the board again after
the flash headbutt into Mike Young. A trade kill in is now. That is a kill onto Levi, and buffs refreshed for Mike Young.
All right, let's see what he's able to do with this now, because there's so much vision from Southeast Asia on the bottom side. They should be able to track him for the next at least 30 seconds here. Hunter, though, since enemy jungler is dead, should know they're up on top side for Jace, and he has freedom to really take control of the lane. Let's take another look at the initiation here. Kra does start it out, has to flash defensively as they're looking for the combo on him. Levi, I believe, just seen at the last second there. Sneaky does flash, but since the immediate answer from Levi is to close the distance with his own flash, it almost guarantees that he's going to be able to land that Q. Yeah. He does so, gets the kill. Afro move, not letting him out without an answer from Mike.
A lot of flashes were burned there. Of course, Sneaky out of summoners entirely, and Afro, Mike both flashed to set that situation up. Of course, worth it to get the kill. Now Afro gets to play around with his Hex Flash. See what he can get with that.
And we also talked about the all-in potential from Shen lane here. Shen and Tristana, very scary. You do have to worry about tracking Levi at this moment. If Levi is ever around bottom side, Shen Tristana can immediately engage on you, and that is a scary situation. So here he comes right back down. He just popped the plant, though, so that's one of those things. Scrying plant, when you do pop it, you do reveal your initial location, and that is a little bit of the drawback. Now they know he is around there.
Yeah, so after we went back to base and bought boots and Ruby Crystal, he could have gone into debt and bought a Sight Stone instead, chose not to go into debt yet. But instead just has a bit more move speed and a bit more durability. As Sneaky's going to ward, make sure his red buff stays safe when it respawns, but suddenly a taunt is here, and Afro's going to run out of health a little bit. Aftershock gets him a bit of time as he keeps running away, and he should survive the explosive charge.
Yeah, you got to respect that, as we said. Levi, he popped the plant, they knew he was around bottom side, and the all-in potential from Tristana Shen, you really have to respect that. Afromu does take a lot of damage for that face check, and I see no reason for Levi to leave the bottom lane. He's got a control ward down there, and he's still camping. Mike Young, top side though, what's the answer?
There you go, Jisu taking quite a bit of damage on a half HP. Mike Young does not have flash, but Han's looking for the knockback, push them towards the wall, and now Jisu has to kite the other way around. But look at the damage output. NHA's doing work right now against Sion here. A few more attacks to come in. Azir was pushed in. A nice flash getting away from the skies, but one more auto would do him in. The shield of Hanser does not have any mana left. The stun gonna come in as well. Let's go! A few more seconds. One more snipe comes in, and just barely Mike Young does something to get the kill to come through. But look at that first turret for bot lane. Southeast Asia up 1,000 gold.
Yeah, what are these NA clowns doing? The objectives there for Southeast Asia. They are able to focus that down. First turret gold is a huge bonus, and they're able to capitalize as well. So they got first blood bonus plus first turret bonus. It's pretty here.
Oh, the flash ult coming across. Ziva goes for the Q as well. Plenty of damage to be had here. A nice knockback for Bjergsen. The flash to chase in, though. Do they have the damage? It's close. The explosive charge should not be enough. 100 HP left. Bjergsen gets out, putting 2 summoners on an ultimate.
All right, let's see what they're able to do with the recover here from North America as Sneaky's pushing out the bomb side. Mike Young will shift up through his jungle. No, he is tracking the entire time, and Southeast Asia get to reset after the large amount of gold they were able to accrue.
See, they can keep this one going then. Of course, one thing I want to point out with the runes is there's about twice as many zombie warriors as the previous game. In EU versus Turkey, it was just the junglers, but both Monster and Kra, I believe, are running zombie war themselves, so a lot more vision will be in this game.
Yeah, it's such a snowballing mastery, and I really love if you have that. Also picking up the extra wards here from the trackers. Both junglers have done that.
Oh, headbutt pulverized. The knockup for Mike Young and Levi dead again. This duo
just jumping on him. And A strikes back here. Mike Young finds him in the jungle. Now he's a level 6. And they're looking to continue with the action. Tristano is the next target, but he dings level 6, and that's another defensive tool.
2v1 on the support now as well. Look at the HP bar just gone. He's dead. Mike Young in a killing spree, and it is Warrior. Double longsword. He's got tons of damage.
Sneaky with just the tip of the
man.
W there.
Oh,
Land
no.
on that one. Here comes the Rek'Sai.
All right, she's fine.
Not going to get him low enough for the ultimate. Execution damage really does take effect. But again, this is going to be about another bit of objective here. A lot of damage on the turret. Able to zone him off. And as you said, when Vision starts to take over, it's going to be really explosive with all the zombie wars. So a bunch of them have been laid down in this blue quadrant. They'll pop back up. And Mike is going to start up the next objective here, mounting Drake for North America, as Sneaky is going to try and finish off that bottom turret. Never mind.
Slow going.
Jin, a little bit slow there.
Not the best turret killer. The Mountain Drake, also slow, but would, I guess, hasten Sneaky's shoving power as Mike comes through. It's actually been interesting watching the North American All-Star squad throughout this event so far, because every game's looked quite a bit different. In first game, it was the TSN members playing together, Hanser, Mike Young, and Bjergsen. Game 2 was actually a lot about Sneaky and Aframu, at least in the early game. And then this one is actually just Mike Young and Aframu just like doing everything together and smashing all over the game.
Yeah, I mean, we also talked about how Mike would definitely benefit a lot from some direction here. And then the first kill really looked like, you know, Aframu. Well, never mind. Let's take a look at this because side ult for fun to watch.
Oh, Hanser's taking some damage here, and he's not going to go for the Q just yet. Gets knocked out of it, but surely force him off of XP and gold for a while, as that top lane turret will eventually fall to demolish that, I believe, Cry is running.
Yep, going to be able to take this one, no problem. So they're able to continue with their one turret lead here. However, if you check the scoreboard, my friend, even with the extra turret lead for Southeast Asia, extra gold here coming through for North America with a lot of extra minions, you know, from Bjergsen, from Sneaky, and even another source coming up here as they chase him out. Looks like nobody should be caught though.
Yeah, potential 3v2, but with the good wards coming already from Cry, they're just fine, so no gank to be had from the roaming duo of Mike Young and Apple. Often getting minion waves cleared away. Down CS, down his turret, but has at least a kill for himself. We'll see if anything comes out of NAJ still later on. Patrick easily clears the minions away and looks for his next objective.
And the next objective probably should just be, you know, a bit of caution here, as everybody else on the team has recalled. We talked so many times about multiple points of pressure. You really do want to sync up when they're going for offensive moves, right? If 4 members of your team are buying and you just pushed up your lane, best to actually also look to go, you know, purchase or even place defensive vision or something. So he's not going to overextend there, and they do just regroup. A little bit of a different lane allocation here. Patrick, with the spellbook that he talked about, is going with the heal and flash currently. Has to go back to base if he does want to change those.
Wait to be seen. Did start with TP, yeah, and he's got 1 extra mark now as a result of it being 8 minutes into the game. So far, no changes. Has his stopwatch ready in case there's shenanigans from his opponents. Waiting otherwise for the next moves here. Jisu staying in his bot jungle. Hanser staying under turret for a lot of this game. He's been very much pushed back so far. At some point, we'll be able to group and go for some siege, some poke, but that time is not now. Bjergsen keeps the mid lane under control, and Sneaky remains on the top side of the map instead. So not completely typical lane assignments. Oftentimes you see the duo lane, the marksman and co run to mid, but Bjergsen holding mid for now.
Yeah, and it is, you've talked about the timings. The times are a little bit weird with a support Shen because, you know, we're almost 12 minutes into the game. That's when the level 6 start to near, but he still hasn't gotten it quite yet. Here comes Levi, though, to try and help out Jisu.
He wants to dive this one. Hanser a bit alone now, kicked back. The Qs are all going to land a flash to buy some time. Oh! One more kick will do him in the flash to follow, but it is a trade kill. Hanser did the best he could in a 1v2. And the headbelt pulverized into the top side. The knockups are there. Quick pop of the hourglass, and Patrick going to survive for a little bit longer. He'll get to through this wave, but now Sneaky to take some shots. Lands one, does not land many of the rest. The chase now in for Mike Young. Patrick stays alive for longer. No mana for a pulverize, and Afro dies under the turret going too aggressively.
Yeah, he still had the heal there for Patrick, and he's able to heal right back up. So North America foiled in their tower dive on the opposite side. Bjergsen wants to clean up, though.
It's a bit of damage, 200 HP, and Patrick has no way out, but the teleport coming in for Jisu to keep the team alive, and looks like he will be enough to stop the pressure. No idea for him.
That supports Shen, as I said, level 6 coming on live, 12-something minutes into the game, catch you off guard, and that is enough to turn it around. Usually whenever you make this play on the bottom side, you know they commit their top laner and their jungler, you would think the obvious counter for North America would be make a play on the opposite side of the map. So here's the initial play. Southeast Asia, yeah, they've got 2 guys down bottom here, and they want to answer, but Shen turns everything around. Here we go, though. This is another look. Levi, you always want to start out with your kick in scenarios like this for Lee Sin so that you can guarantee landing your Q afterwards. But even so, they didn't have enough damage, so he had to flash back in, and the kill was given back over to Hanser. Meanwhile, part number 2, Freak.
Yeah.
This is the tower dive.
Yeah, and after it actually pulverized a bit early, the mouse pass was still on, and then the re-engage, you think they have the damage up with the heal used right as Afro headbutts in, and I'm not sure if he thought it was enough before pulverize, if he thought he had pulverize still available, but doesn't land the second part of the spell, and it was just a too aggressive dive for North America the first
Patrick,
for Afro.
Looking for Hanser. We talked about trying to all push at the same time. Hanser's the lone extended member of TSM. But it looks like he just wants to go forward. He's going to give him a little bit of a run around.
Buy as much time as he can, kill the minions off. And now, can they even catch up at this one as Kraz here? Answer is likely yes. Levi and Kraken makes one after the taunt. Oh, nice juke backwards to not be taunted. Gets the move speed. The jump forward by a bit more time. Now Dante's also here, and there is no way out for Hanser. Goodbye. He falls down. Levi getting his second kill of the game.
Levi getting some more cash there for the Lee Sin. Could build some more damage. He can also build into a cleaver if he so pleases. A lot of times, though, we'll see fairly defensive builds.
And Mike Young can't be going cleaver second because it doesn't build out of 2 longswords. So it's a lethality or a team out of some kind. Either way, it's going to be pretty fun.
All right, looks like we're going to have the Rift Herald going over to NA unless there's some crazy steal. Southeast Asia, though, taking out the turrets.
He's going to grab the eye for himself. He's not going to leave eye around. That would be silly. That's what the other jungler would do, and that was terrible. Bjergsen going to push in the mid lane, looking for the Rift Herald to push that one in. This actually be a decent time. No one's defending.
This is an Infernal Drake, though. Remember, the Scion teleport was already used on that bottom side to get over there. So Southeast Asia need to call Jisu down. He can use the Scion ultimate through the river and kind of announce his arrival that way.
Yeah.
So North America are going to have to cover their rear here. They're trying to cut off some of these entry points.
Squad plays for ward control. North America leaving the ward for someone else to hit, I guess. He wants to give away the gold, I think. Mid lane again under priority. This time Mike Young will summon it up and require respect of Jisu or someone else. His turret very healthy, though, will not die to the charge.
And this is actually with 2 members, both carries of Southeast Asia in base, so they should be able to push for this turret. They want to get it before those carries return to the field, but it looks like Dante's already here, so they're going to be able to put some more pressure down.
They're going to give him a lot of respect. They still knock it down at the time. Here comes the attempted charge forward. He's not going to land that one yet. Sneaky force to flash away as the front lines have re-engaged. The suppression of Mike Young. They will knock him down. A shutdown in for Levi himself. And Jisu still holding the front line pretty well. Afro, no more. Oh, headbutt's not going to matter. 2 kills picked up. Both the SEA jungler.
Yep, the squishier Rek'Sai now really prime target for a Malzahar ultimate. Good job there by Patrick. Able to take down Mike Young. He got to do nothing in that fight at all. And now Southeast Asia grouping up around the Infernal Drake.
Oh, Bjergsen wants some damage. He's going to land the top. Now the chase through. Croc himself killing a Bjergsen. And the rest of the team going to stay alive. And the Infernal Drake picked up as well. So 3 unanswered kills plus the Drake. And a Hanser forced to run. Patrick in for this one. SpongeBob, who? This is Patrick. Gets himself into the kill. Dantes gets the credit.
Oh, I can see him writing the Reddit thread already. Southeast Asia feeling good about this. They get Infernal, and the gold lead extends for them. Now they can reset before getting back out onto the field with more of those wards.
And the 4,000 gold lead, Southeast Asia looking for their first win of All-Stars. And I think so much the community thought that, okay, the initial vote was, a ton of players from GAM, but a lot of them couldn't make it, and now you're seeing them play so well with fights like this.
All right, here's the initiation support. Shen on the back of the top lane Scion here to get into the middle, but really it's all about the first kill and focus fire onto Mike Young. Squishy Rek'Sai does go down, and at that point, is Aphromoo left in there alone, and there's no way out for him. So, 3 members trying to come to contest here for North America. Malzahar Voidlings get a lot of damage down, and the flash from Kra is enough to kill Bjergsen.
Chase through is very nice. And Patrick, knowing he had the damage for flashing, he could do enough damage. A couple shots through. Dante's also flashing in for it, but those 2 flashes get enough the extra kill. Kind of worth it here, and a very solid game now out of the Southeast Asia All-Stars. Jisu pretty much unkillable. Haunter can try and can't even break the shield with an Empowered Shock Blast.
Yeah, Mike Young comes in a little bit to add some support here, some vision through the jungle so that Haunter doesn't get collapsed on again. This has been a big problem for them. You know, when he's pushing out on the side lane, picked off a little bit, and Southeast Asia are getting an objective. Wow, they pick him off again!
Oh, the kick actually betrays the Empowered Cube. It doesn't matter. Haunter flashes to his own death. He wanted to get near Mike Young. Doesn't matter, though, with the top lane tier 2 likely to fall. Jisu. Sorry, what? Kra and Dante is actually the great 2-on-2 making that one happen. Now Headbutt Boulevard's looking for Patrick here. Puts the pressure on, but it doesn't matter. Nice job. The cowbell smacks and stuns and stops the ulti, and a kill comes through to Bjergsen. 6-9 now in kills, still withstanding a 5,000 deficit. North America needs to do a lot to get back in this game.
Yeah, because Southeast Asia, you know, while the kills are traded 1-for-1, they continue to stack up turrets. 2-turret lead now for themselves. They have so much room to work with, and the pressure still continues on bottom side.
Smack knocks down some more minions. Bjergsen on his way down. Levi showing up, though, does not have his ultimate, though. Jisu flashing away.
Teleported in, it looks like.
All right, this could be the fight North America needs. 4 versus 2. Good damage onto Sion. Kicks him around, and Haunter gets himself his 3rd kill of the game, adding up to more of that lethality.
That is a kill for North America. However, they're not going to be able to get much in the way of objectives because all the minion waves are pushing against them at this moment. So it's just going to be a little bit of a reset here. Dante is pushing on the mid lane, but Sneaky's there to take the minions.
Levi takes away some of the monsters and down to 4,500. North America clawing their way back in. It's about Southeast Asia, though, and what they can do to close this game out. They've got plenty of ward coverage. Green Smite on Lee Sin, upgraded Sight Stone on Krab, both of them with zombie wards, meaning that's going to be vision that lasts for a while. And let's see if they can set up this Baron spawning in 40 seconds. That's normally the next objective, but it spawns at the same time as Ocean Drake. So maybe some split focus.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of work now to clear out so many wards. You talked about how many people in this game took zombie. That means that there's a lot more dirty work to be done. If you want to attempt Baron, then you're going to have to go through all of the checks, basically, here. Check every single one of these brush before you know you actually have the ability to try and bait around that area. Currently, still a bunch of control wards littered everywhere, and North America trying to be the ones to start up the control of this Baron area, but Southeast Asia, they're still around, and they still have a very sizable 4,000 gold lead here they're working with.
North America still have a pretty big Bjergsen Azir right now, about a 72 CS, and got a lot of his primary damage items online. Forces the teleport out of Jisu for the top side. Hongsu's TP then will be faster and more readily available. If they can wait 3 minutes, they'll have that TP advantage.
It's a good point you bring up there with the double penetration completed here for Bjergsen, and already having the attack speed from his Nashor's Tooth. He's definitely set up to have at least a bit of the scaling you're talking about when you think of Azir for the mid game.
Levi bringing in Shen for the taunt, but Bjergsen's around the mix as well. Big damage coming out, though, and there's nothing to be done. The kill comes through. 5v4. The Azir turret might not be enough, but maybe the Headbutt Pulverize is, as that should be a dead support, a trade kill, but a 2-for-1 still advantage Southeast Asia.
Yeah, I was watching that, and I was like, oh, is Bjergsen going to use the Azir ultimate to protect Haunter there? And he uses it to secure a kill trade and sacrifice Haunter for Kra instead of actually going for the protect. Not sure, which one, if he actually would have been able to protect him anyways, but they do secure a trade, and it is 1-for-1 now.
To pick on Mike Young, I think Patrick got him with an ultimate in the jungle, so that's a
2-for-1
respawning
actually.
Yeah, Mike Young was kind of off screen on that one, but I saw the death timer, so still a great pick by the rest of Southeast Asia, and that means they do have Baron control for themselves, and you can see the ward coverage right now over that Baron pit is very, very little for North America.
Let's take another look at it then. All right, so this is the beginning. Saw this one with Haunter on the top side. Levi goes in. He's going to have the Shen on top of him. His Lee Sin goes for the ward hop to keep distance. Then they get the Shen ultimate. Bjergsen raises the tower, so you can see his first thought is like, all right, we're baiting them in here. We're going to be able to get some kills. Maybe they were looking for 2 kills in exchange for 1 there, but raises the turret, ults him back into it, and they do find 1. Meanwhile, Southeast Asia and Kra, they're feeling quite good about the state of this game, holding onto their lead here. As you said, they're slightly winning the Vision Wars as it's pretty much littered for both sides, but they're moving up and across the river.
Let's see what comes next for this one. Sneaky snipes out a little zombie ward himself, but nothing's been placed right underneath it. Ocean Drake has spawned 2 minutes ago and now being picked up by the SCA squad. Not going to be a problem at all. Ocean, I think, I really like, even in late game scenarios, the extra regen it gives you allows you to do more after a fight. If you get low, you're not anymore.
Especially in the current meta with so much poke being really prioritized. Ocean Drake, very popular.
Yeah.
Sneaky's Jin's going to be throwing out a little bit of that. Currently, though, Southeast Asia, they've been able to split push a little bit. Top lane is pushing, and they've been able to regroup around that Baron area.
And again, even though North America got through a little something, Southeast Asia right back there to get those wards gone. Get their own zombies in case they need them, and more wards disappearing around this side of the map.
All-star event. We're looking for all-star plays. Freak, who's it going to be here in the mid game? This is where everything turns around. Exactly. The players they're looking to immediately would probably be Levi on the side of Southeast Asia, and maybe Bjergsen or Aframu on the side of North America, some of the veterans there. The Baron has started up, and nobody from NA around.
It's Baron against Sneaky. There's always the chance, but it seems incredibly slim. The rest of the squad coming around. Sneaky W's down. They couldn't possibly steal it anymore. Mike Young waits to go in. The kickback for Levi secures it, and the knockup is there. Jisu gonna make sure that Bjergsen does not survive another day. 12-8 in kills. The jump forward after we're gonna fall as well. A double kill for the AD carry.
Levi answers the call for the big play here. Knocks out the enemy jungler, secures the Baron, and they're able to win the fight on the back of it.
And slowing the knockup, Jisu maybe he gets himself a little bit more. He's going to just sit under the turret 1v2, brings in this Shen as Patrick finds himself a kill. And oh gosh, Sneaky soloed out. Another one under the turret as Haunter goes down. Southeast Asia just shellacking North America.
Southeast Asia coming up huge here. This Baron-empowered push might be enough to end the entire game, Freak.
It really might be enough. 10 seconds on Bjergsen. Otherwise, Mike Young is alone after. Doesn't have the damage to do much of anything. Middle inhibitor gone at 24 minutes, and here comes what could be the death knell. Bjergsen alive, 3 versus 5 to defend. Demolish could knock in the first turret pretty quickly. 1 is gone. Looking for number 2. Headbutt pull for the back line. Mike Young joining as well, but they don't have the damage. A nice big triple stun comes in. The knockback that'll buy a few more seconds. Bjergsen, he's going to lose Mike Young, but he will keep the base alive. Southeast Asia able to grab a little something to kick back. Levi is a monster and dominating at the same time.
Oh my goodness, they all walk away as well, leaving the North American base in ruins. Remember, this Southeast Asia squad are 4 members that had to fill in at the last second and a different coach who had to fill in for them. It's just Levi who is the original here and the name that everyone's going to attach to. Plus, he's coming up with the big plays for his team.
7, 3, and 5 on the Lee Sin. He grabbed it early. The gauntlet was thrown, and it's certainly pretty spiky here. Maybe he's got some Infinity Stones then. I don't know, man, but it's doing well for him.
All right, we'll take another look as they try and defend this space. Bjergsen goes in with the Azir. Aframu engages immediately, but they aren't able to combo. Look at that CC. Then he sweeps them off, so they're able to get him off of the turret here, but they all walk away with low health, and Levi sees the opportunity.
For the swag, he went for the kick backwards, but had the damage anyway because of Electrocute. Still really awesome stuff. Beautiful out of Levi, and now into the bot lane. Southeast Asia looking to knock down bot tier 2. The 10,000 gold lead is going to make it pretty likely to happen.
I mean, if people weren't won over already from MSI and from Worlds with the showings that we've seen from Southeast Asia, from Vietnam, from the Gigabyte Marines, all these guys, then they're definitely going to be a little bit behind the times because these guys are huge right now, looking to take another victory for themselves as they continue the pressure.
You know, I saw the internet complain that North America got the easy group. I don't know what you're talking about. NA is stuck in here with these guys. And might end their group stage 1 and 2. Southeast Asia then looks for a bit of something. North America's best hope would then be Brazil winning, and I'm getting good ahead of myself, but Southeast Asia looks for the play. A nice Comet shot. Dante's getting a bit low. Hunter missing the Empowered on the shot class, though. It doesn't get any damage out of that Q, and North America going to keep trying to buy some time, hoping to keep scaling with maybe the Azir in the mid lane, but he's just so much smaller. There's a full item lead for Patrick in the mid lane. You've got the 80% crit done for Dantes. I mean, this is not a poke metagame strategy composition at all, and Southeast Asia running over it with big tanks and hard engage.
Closing in here on the siege. Malzahar, Voidlings tank up a turret shot. And they're defending. Here we go.
The kickback with the knockup. Sneaky's gone for 1 already. 5v4, and Levi gonna pop his Guardian Angel after low on health, but the shields keep him alive a bit longer. Not long enough as Dentis gets the kill, but a trade back in as Levi will lose his life through the GA. 2 for 1 still advantage SEA, but can they keep fighting with his low health? Tristana, the Q lands. Mike Young could go for the ult, but he knows Shen. He is a Shen ult. Did Shen ult Shen? No, he did not. Can't get the kill through that ulti, so he won't go for it just yet. The siege shooting a little bit longer. TP back in, and Jisu just runs back away. So he TP's in for the swag.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter just survived and came out with those home guards. That's why they had to retreat immediately, and Patrick had to use his flash. But as we've been saying, you know, this is the spell book here for Malzahar. Lower cooldown for it. He is able to survive. North America barely holding on here, but look at that Baron power play. Huge leads for Southeast Asia across the board. All right, take another look at how it started out. Levi knows that he has a Guardian Angel, so he's happy to tank up the turret and start off the play. Exchanging his GA for one of the carries of North America. They take down Sneaky at the very beginning, which allows them, you know, to pull this off. But even with the GA, Bjergsen takes him down right after he got back up.
Yeah. Still, 10-kill lead Southeast Asia. Their lead 10,000 up in this one. Ocean Drake spawning in 20 seconds. Baron just a bit over 2 minutes till it's back up on this one as well. Look at the 1v1. Look at the play. Hans's going to run right back out. He is out of mana. Can't fight any longer. But he pulls the Shen ulti out. That's a pretty big deal. That's a long cooldown for support Shen.
Yeah, decently good escape there right there for him. Punch him back out. Meanwhile, it is going to be probably another Ocean Drake just grabbed up here by Southeast Asia. North America would not want to risk anything for that sort of a Drake this late into the game. And it's all about, can they pull off the defensive play here? Defend the Alamo. They've got only 2 inhibitor turrets left. Southeast Asia have the entire map to work with. And Baron, 1 minute and 50 seconds left before spawn.
All right. That's going to be the big timer then. North America have that countdown. 138 and going. Oh, the knock-up on a 2. They catch up Ponser. The stun is there. Q's going to land. And Dante's getting himself the kill on this one. And now the ulti back across turns him just to mush as Rek'Sai is gone. 2 for 0. An easy pickup there. Southeast Asia now ready to siege 5 versus 3.
Monster goes for the minions right there and gets tagged immediately. Jisu's going to ultimate afterwards. Can they do it though? Bjergsen puts up the wall.
Looking for the snipes, looking for the shots on a Levi as well. Good damage, but kicks him right back in though. The turret's got aggro, but Levi's staying alive. Try and make it happen as another 2 come in. And it's Afro and Sneaky left alone. Make it only Sneaky now. 1 versus 5. There's no chance to hold on to this one under 30 minutes. On to the final Nexus turret, and the Southeast Asian All-Stars improved to 1-1, and they've got a battle with Brazil and a shot at destiny in the next game.
Dantes finishes 7-0-8 on the Tristana. Huge carry for the team. Levi creating plays left and right.